Well, one of our favorite video games of all time is rumored to be getting a movie. Is that a good or a bad idea? We'll tell you after the jump. And welcome back to the Best Damn Nerd Show channel, your interval for all things nerd. I'm the microphone alchemist, James Kincaid, and with me tonight, Imperial Commissar Jeff Budd.
Howdy, cowpoke.
Chief Science Officer of Star Labs, Mark Truex.
I got the tuberculosis.
And Hall of Fame cyber athlete Jonathan Craig. I don't know if
that's a spoiler for John. He didn't get that far.
Yeah, John definitely didn't get that far in what we're going to be talking about, which is Red Dead Redemption 2 and the news that Sony is reportedly moving this into an active development movie. And before we dive into what we think about that, as Mark has already alluded to, there will be spoilers if you've not finished playing the story of Red Dead Redemption 2. That's fine, Mark. They've had plenty of time.
Every good Western paragon gets tuberculosis.
Can I just
at least
say,
2 of them.
Can I just say, like, not only is this going to be spoilers, but the entire movie franchise is going to be spoilers to me, because after day 1 of playing the game, I was recruited to the Pink Pant Posse, which is Chris Davis's posse in Red Dead Online.
Complete failure, by the way.
We succeeded.
I've been logging in every day, and for like 4 or 5 hour chunks, just been picking herbs like he told me to do for the last 12 months.
Oh,
I'm sitting on stacks of these herbs. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with him. He hasn't logged back in since then.
Deliver them to his swamp cabin.
Davis escaped with all the money. He's not coming back. He invested it in GameStonk.
Davis has a plan.
Have some goddamn faith. I don't really have much faith in a Red Dead Redemption 2 movie. Or maybe it's not so much faith. I just don't think it's needed because the game itself was so cinematic and so intensely personal that I don't really want to see this happen. But Jeff, I mean, you're rocking a Red Dead shirt. I know the game was very impactful for you as well. What say you about a Red Dead and Red Dead 2 movie?
I mean, yeah, the thing about like modern games is they tell you the full story anyway, and they tell it in a way that a movie, like 2.5 hours, never could. Like, could it have the potential of being the greatest video game movie of all time? It's like, I know what games are on that list. The competition ain't too fierce.
I like that, Sadie.
But will it be a good movie?
But I mean, it's a cowboy movie. I mean, I think it would be fine. The thing is this. You're not going to have the guy sound exactly like Arthur Morgan, so that's a big hit right there. He's not going to look exactly like Arthur Morgan. None of the characters are really going to be the characters. I mean, that's the other downside to like what video games look like now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it. It's not like playing Legend of Zelda in the early 90s, where it's like the leap to, the big screen would actually be a big deal. Yeah. Now, I mean, the character's alive on screen as I'm playing them.
I look alive to you.
How's that alive? But I mean, would I go see it? Could it be enjoyable? Sure. Is it going to be anywhere near as good as the game? God, no. That's impossible. I mean, you'd have a better chance with a book or a comic book series, honestly.
Absolutely.
Just because then you could tell more with the story.
I think go miniseries with it.
I mean,
that could work.
You have to stretch it out because Red Dead as a game is a 40-hour investment for the full
just
story.
For the main story.
We're talking about
not even any
a 2-hour flick.
Stories.
So some sort of Snyder cut version of the Red Dead movie.
Restore the Red Dead verse is what is going to be happening.
People are just going to ask.
I'm down for a 40-hour film if that's what you're saying.
It's just running into that guy that gets snake bitten all the time.
You gotta have your tonics on you.
You gotta suck that poison out.
The best thing the movie could do is maybe tell a different part of the story. Give me young Arthur Morgan adventure or something. Like maybe what they're doing with Uncharted. Where it's like a prequel to the games. I was originally against it, but then like now seeing it makes more sense.
That's cool. Yeah. So you're like building out the universe more.
Exactly. So you could get away with doing something like that. And there's hints of like little cool stories that they could touch on there. Arthur's love interest, like back when he was young and everything like that would be kind of cool. Seeing what the gang was like before they all turned on each other.
I think that's a great idea. The one thing I will say in favor of doing like a Red Dead Redemption 2 movie from the story from the game is that there is this drive within me that I want people that haven't played it or won't play it to sort of get the experience of what that story was, because it is a very powerful story. It is one of my favorites in video games. And when Arthur takes his last ride, it's emotional, and it really hits you in the feels, and the the relationships that you built over that game and him saying goodbye to them and reliving those memories, that is something that, like you said, I mean, it's a Western movie. Like, this could be made into a movie very easily, and a lot of the beats could be recreated. I think the problem for us that played it is that it's going to be different than the video game. But there is part of me that would like to see people that didn't experience get to know like why it was such a big deal, like why they heard sniffling from my room the first time I finished Red Dead Redemption 2 and stuff like that. But Mark, you've been kind of quiet. What do you think? Are you pro or con?
As long as it's supplemental to the universe, absolutely, let's do it. There's a lot of great characters in there that you can dive into. You can get into Arthur Morgan being raised as the boy, with Dutch, or even go young Dutch of him forming the gang originally. There's a lot of characters you can dive into. I'd love to see more about Charles and how he got involved or where he ended up. And then even just
in a movie though,
right? And even John Marston, I mean, who is the only real substantial character of both games. I know there was some villainy in the first one, but John Marston's character, I'd love to see more about what happens with him and his family and so forth. So,
well, I mean,
let's do it.
I don't know about that. I mean, I feel like that's going to be like the blandest.
I just
he
hope
lived like
movie,
a normal life for a while.
I hope the movie has a lot of like herb picking and skinning.
Yeah.
And,
exactly.
Well, I mean, you want to do
the
the Marston one? Are we going to push X as we're hammering the
Yeah.
teams together?
No, the Marston one is going to be like Married with Children, but set in the Western theme.
Dude, you got to milk the cow.
I'm going to be down for that.
Got it.
Now he's just a horseshoe salesman.
I think a lot of those. Go ahead, Mark.
I just got a great. So they got a Bandersnatch it. If you guys watch the Bandersnatch on Netflix, make it a choose your own adventure where you can go black hat or white hat on Red Dead. Make it weave in and out. Do you milk the cow?
Then we're just playing the game then. We're back to playing the game again, which I was going to say, Mark, you and Jeff's ideas are both very solid, but I'd rather see those, I guess, just play out in another video game where I get to revisit that world myself overall. I don't know. I think overall, just stick this to the video game universe. It's so cinematic. They're so beautifully done. Just convince your skeptical friends to pick it up, I guess, would be the way to go about it. But it feels like this is just going to be sort of like Metal Gear Solid stuck in developmental hell for a while anyway.
Wants Metal Gear Solid.
Again, I hope that they flesh it out. I hope they flesh it out and make it a series, because I feel like with all the side missions and like all the, like each episode could be a mission, and then there could be side things that lead up to accomplishing that mission. Like the game has so many.
Yeah, be like the Mandalorian.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Exactly.
You want this, John?
Yeah. Well,
there's no story. How's Arthur Morgan a character just because he gets sick?
I'll like it better if he's not wearing a mask the whole time.
That's a disease.
But there's a richness to the world and to the different environments that they're in and how things look depending on which territory you're in. And
are we talking about Mando still, or are we back to Red Dead?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
No. And the way Western. The missions play out, like it does lend itself to a series. Each episode could be very interesting and could do what Mark is asking, where you get to dive into different characters and learn about their backstories.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely could work. I think the inherent problem is like what Jeff was talking about, is that the leap from video game to feature film or series now is not the leap that it was, 20 years ago.
All right, who would you guys want as Arthur Morgan then?
Josh Brolin.
Ben Foster.
Ooh.
310 to Yuma, Ben Foster.
310
Ben Foster would make a great Micah.
Ben Foster, and I had Russell Crowe as Dutch in my mind, and that might just be because the hat he wears in 310 to Yuma, but I think he would work. The trouble is that originally I was thinking like Kurt Russell, but the dude is 70 now, so I guess he'd have to be like Hosea or something like that.
That'd be kind of cool. I could see him as Hosea.
Yeah, kind of a tougher version of Hosea, but
Hosea is not that weak though.
He's not, but he looks kind of frail.
He carries himself a certain way. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that I'm fully on board.
Well, I mean, there's going to be a different interpretation if they did it anyway. Even what John was just saying, it's like I'd almost rather have that as DLC for the game and then just continue to pad the story a little bit there. Yeah, where I could do side missions and learn more about the gang.
Don't give them any ideas.
I don't want to let them go.
More money.
I think overall we've just
if they give me enough
established
game for it, I'll pay.
that we'd rather just have just stick with more, give us more video games and not the movies so much. I think we settled it. So Sony, go ahead and drop that and just give us more Red Dead video game content. Thanks. Hey, thanks so much for watching this far, Nerdosphere. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check us out on Discord. That's bestdamnnerdshow.com/Discord if you want to join in on the conversation there, partner. Or if you've knocked over a couple banks or been doing some bounty missions, bestdamnnerdshow.com/Patreon. And you can subscribe, and we sure would appreciate it because we need to get to Tahiti. I have a plan.